So Plato was what we call an idealist. And what that means is he believed that ideas were more real and eternal than physical material things. So this realm of ideas, and once again, I don't have a whiteboard, so I'm just going to draw this with my hands for you. This highest realm of being that is eternal, it's not created or destroyed, it has always existed. This is called the realm of eternal forms. And everything you can imagine or conceive, or any physical material thing you see in the world, has always existed as an idea in this realm of eternal forms. For example, here's a lovely little coffee mug I have here. Well, long before this coffee mug was physically made, there was an eternal idea of a coffee mug. We could destroy every single coffee mug in the world, but the concept or idea of coffee mug will remain. It's an eternal concept. It can't be destroyed. The next most real thing is concepts, the conceptual world. And this is where we think about things like coffee mugs or trees or love or circles or geometric shapes. And Plato believed that each human, it was almost like we had a holographic chip placed into us from the realm of ideal forms, so that all of us are born with that knowledge already inside of us. You already are born knowing all you could possibly ever know. And so his theory of education, he isn't trying to download new data or information into the human. He's acting more as like a midwife, trying to help you birth thought babies, like thoughts that are already inside of you. He's trying to help them come out and help you realize what you already are aware of. I mean, it's a fantastic way to educate, because then you become like a collaborator instead of like this expert that's just downloading all this information onto people. You're literally like in the birth pains with your students, helping them bring forth these concepts or ideas. And so he becomes known as the father of idealism. So eternal forms is the highest reality. They can't be created or destroyed. God would be here as well. And it's kind of hard to tell with Plato if God is separate from the eternal forms or if they're existing in the mind of God. You could argue him either way. But you have this ideal forms, then you have thinking about the ideal forms, the conceptual world, and then you have the actual physical material world, like your physical body, the physical foods you eat, all of that stuff. And then what we're doing in here in the Zoom call, we're even once more removed from reality, because now we're virtual or digital. You're like, I'm actually coming through to you in a series of zeros and ones in binary code, and it's being interpreted and translated into all the colors and sounds and bells that we're hearing. But that is not reality. So ideal forms, concepts, physical things, and then copies or projections of those physical things. So that is how Plato viewed the world. Aristotle, his student, flipped it on his head, and he said, no, Plato, what's primary is the physical material world. Things like actual rocks and gourds and rivers, trees, people, animals. Then we can think about those things, and we can think about how they're connected, how they're different, and then we can come up with universals or ideals based on physical material things. And so we have Plato starting from the top down and Aristotle starting from the physical material, thinking his way up. And so in many ways, they look like opposites, but I would say they're more like two sides to the same coin, because they're really saying the same, they have the same belief system, they're just approaching it from different directions, but very similar thought process. But Plato becomes known as the father of idealism, and Aristotle, the father of materialism or realism. Okay, any questions on that?